Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I will be doing a buff and polish change on this nail set that I did last video. That's about a week ago your time, 2 weeks ago my time. That video was where I did an ombre with eyeshadow, and I will be using this Pana's carbide bit. It's called a 5-in-1 drill bit to take off the polish and also to smooth out any edges or anything. So this is a buff and polish change. I noticed that a lot of nail techs do not offer this service anymore, but I love this service. This is something that I've offered for forever, honestly. It just allows you to sharpen up the nails, to do a new fresh polish coat and design if the customer so wishes. This is also where you would do a change in shape if they wanted that. But here I'm just going to be doing a drill off of the nail polish. And because I use gel polish, of course, I have to drill it off. If you were using something other than gel polish, you would, of course, use acetone. And here I'm using that drill bit at like a 5. So I'm going to speed up the clips as I go because it does take a little bit of time. You do not want to actually take off too much acrylic. Acrylic is going to come off, but you're trying to just get the polish off. But what I do also like to do when I do a buff and polish is just to reseal the cuticles, sharpen up the shape of the nails, and if there's any issues, I would notice it then. And also to check out my retention game. Yes. It allows me to see, if there's any lifting, if maybe there's a problem. Like I said, I don't do this on clients that are over 2 weeks, really, because they really need a fill. But if I have a client that has somewhere to be and they just need a quick polish change and they're coming back in a week or two, I have no problem offering this. Like I said, I'm not sure why a lot of nail techs don't offer this. I actually love this service. It's literally going back into the nail without using any acrylic. So here I'm just going over the nail and it looks like I'm being a little rough, and that's because the clip is sped up. And I'm basically just going around the nail trying to get all of the polish off of the base of the nail and the tip of the nail, anything that's on the edges. I try not to go too much into the edges with the bit because the bit will take away acrylic. So I'm going to use the file to sharpen up the edges and also take away any excess acrylic. I also like to check underneath to make sure that there's no acrylic there as well. So yeah, this is just me drilling the nail, and I do have a dust collector underneath my hands. And let me go ahead and apologize right now because some of these clips might be out of frame, but it ain't my fault. I told y'all the first one was gonna be a little, a little rough, and the second video will be better. So, I'm just playing with my setup for these videos. Now here, once all the polish is taken off, I'm going in with a fine sanding bit, and I just want to go back over the nail. Anytime I use the carbide, and I'm assuming that's for most nail techs, that carbide does not necessarily leave a really smooth surface. It leaves like little ridges, and I find that the fine sanding bit just smooths out any little ridges. And if you have any little divots or any issues, this also helps to clean that up, and it also helps to reseal the nail and take off any other polish that I may have missed. And I'm using all these bits on a very fine setting because remember, the only thing we're doing is removing the polish, reshaping the nail. And you want to move fast, but you want to be what is that word? What's the word when you intentional? That's the word. You want to be intentional when you're using this bit because you don't want to spend too much time on the nail, because no matter how fast you use this bit, if you don't keep moving and you don't have some type of intention, you will jack up the nail. So I'm just showing you what it looks like after I've removed all of the polish and I file. Now anytime you file, you need to go back into the nail and buff. And as I'm buffing, I'm feeling the nail just to make sure there's no little ridges or anything. And you'll see me go back in with the file to shape up the sides and to fix any deviations or issues that I may see on top of the nail. And that's because I didn't want to go back in with the drill, because like I said, this is a buff and polish. We're not adding any more acrylic. We're not rebalancing the nail, because guess what, I am not editing out this voiceover if I don't have to. So yeah, I'm just buffing the nail. And like I always say, you can actually use oil to buff the nail. I like using this little small cute thing, but sometimes it will get away from me, so you'll see me drop it a couple times, but I love it, absolutely love it. And no, I do not reuse files on my clients. They all get a brand new file every time they come. As a matter of fact, I usually give them their file. But this is me doing my nails, and this is my file. So yes, it looks a little ragged, and I actually like it like that. I use I believe it's a 120/180 grit file. And I like the 180 side for these shapings and to file the top of the nails because it does not take off too much acrylic. So yeah, that's just me going back and forth, just shaping and making sure everything's still good, because when you shape, you want to make sure you didn't lose any of your sharpness. You want to make sure you didn't file the nail over to another side. You want to make sure everything is still good. So this is just me filing the nail, and then from there I'm going to get a spray bottle, and I'm going to spray it down with some water and light soap and scrub down the nails. This is actually my favorite part of the whole nail thing. This little ASMR clip I'm putting in here for you guys to sit back and listen. If you're interested in me keeping these clips in with the scrubbing, let me know. If you want a little ASMR, let me know. If it's annoying as hell, please let me know that too. Once my nails are nice and clean, I'll just go ahead and dry them off and try to remove any excess that I may have missed. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm showing you what they look like. These are the things that I think I'm going to use. These right here are those little flowers. They come in different sizes. I actually bought them off Amazon. Then I have packs of rhinestones. I have tons of these little different shapes of rhinestones. I actually love to use these in the little containers. And then here I have multicolored rhinestones. I don't like these too much. I find that they're clear. I mean, maybe I just don't always know how to use them. I have never been a fan of them when they don't have a back. But I'm going to be using those little pearls that have a little iridescence to them. And here I'm just showing you this Marquardt glue. This is the rhinestone glue. I actually love this glue. I have the big one, that's my old one, but I bought these two little ones just to see what the difference was, and they came in a kit. And when I opened this, I was surprised to see that this had an applicator. This is amazing if you're doing that 3D art with the, with the gel. That way you can just use this and you don't have to dip into one of your brushes, and then you put it back inside. And then here I'm just trying to see if it was another spout, but what I realized is when I opened this one had the spout. So it's just a smaller version of the regular Marquardt glue. And I actually love this glue, like I said. And I'm showing you what I'm going to be using. I thought I was going to be using this white polish. I think it's called Gelish, but I will be using Beetle's Top Coat. This is IG Gel. IG Gel, they have a glitter that I love to use under bling nail art. So, we're going to be blinging out some nails, and this is just a cheap way of blinging out nails. You'll put that on as your base, and you'll see what we're doing. So right before I get ready to do any nail art or any polish or anything, I'm going to go back over the nail. I'm going to wipe them down with some alcohol. That's also to dehydrate the nail, because some of the nail plate may still be visible because you just took off some of the acrylic, and also just to make sure I have a clean surface. Here I'm putting on that, I believe it's called Platinum. It's by IG Gel. And I'm just putting it on different parts of the nail because we're going to freestyle here. I have no idea where I was going with this. I just knew I wanted to do something summery, something neon, something with a flower, something with some bling. And, I just really wanted to use this neon green. So here I'm just putting on the platinum all over the nail, just making sure that it coats the nail. It doesn't have to be too thick. As a matter of fact, you don't want it too thick because you're going to be adding stones and you're going to be adding the clear coat on the nail. So you want to be careful how much you're going to add on. On this nail, I thought I wanted to do a full nail, but I decided that, I want to do sort of a French. So what I use to take off the polish, especially because this is a glitter polish, you have to be very careful because that glitter will get all over your nail. I like to use what I use as a brush cleaner, and that's, I want to say 1/3 acetone to about 2/3 of my monomer. And sometimes that varies, but that gives me a nice clean line without making that white buildup. Now you will notice that my cuticles a little, ashy looking because I did use the alcohol. So around my cuticle area is dried out, but that's what I want. It don't look so good on, the camera, but it's all right. So that's just me over here cleaning up the nail. And I keep dipping it on this paper towel. You want to make sure you have a paper towel close by. And you'll see that I also put that glitter on that little round plate over there, and that's because I want to be able to go in there with a liner, or if I decide that I just need a quick amount of polish, I want to go grab that. So again, on that middle nail, we're going to do a French. On this pointer nail, I decided to do kind of a slight fade, almost like an ombre with the glitter, so there's not going to be a clear defining line. It's close to being a French, but there's no curvature, there's no line. I didn't want any definition there. It's going to be a true half bling nail. And I'm just going in and cleaning up that I believe that's my ring finger, child. I don't know. I'm doing a voiceover. This is why I hate doing voiceovers, because I can't always remember what I'm doing. But there I am dipping a liner brush, and you can't see it on camera, but it's just me going back over some of the parts of the nail where, you know, it may be lacking on polish, or I want to just clean up my line. So, you know, what you typically do, go up the sides, you know, make sure that everything has its glitter on it, make sure that there's no little white spaces or, you know, free edges that don't have polish on it. That's all I'm doing with this liner brush, and I'm trying to clean up this little area on this nail because I'm not sure what I want to do, but I know I need it to be clean. So yeah, that's just me lining up this nail, trying to be creative, honey. Like I said, this is a freehand style, and I love freehand and freestyle nails because it allows you to be creative. If you have clients that allow you to be creative, I say go for it. So I have no rhyme or reason on anything I'm doing. This was all trial and error. So I was like, please, please, please let this work out. So I just let my nails dry under the heat lamp, child, the UV lamp for about 30 seconds to 60 seconds, not very long because it's a thin layer of polish. And here I'm just taking out what I need. Those are those pearls, those iridescent pearls. And here with the rhinestones, I'm going to be taking out different shapes. I'm also going to be pulling out the little flowers. I decided to go with that neon green. And they come with little caviar beads, but those caviar beads can be a butt to get out of the container. Luckily, I have a round disc with different colored caviar beads that you'll see me grab and pull out. Here it is right here, and they come in different colors, and they really come in handy. They get all over the place, but they come in handy. So I'll lay out some of those. And this is just me dumping out different sizes of the rhinestones. I don't mix them. Let me not say that. I do not just put stones in one area, or I don't always use a tray. I like to have my workspace with all my things on it. When I'm freehanding or freestyling, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, so I like to just kind of, you know, put everything together and see how it meshes. And here on that little plate, I'm putting the Mark glue. What I like to do is not just use the glue. I actually love to use it with top coat and to coat the whole nail, because you will have lumps and bumps all over your nail if you put too much glue in one area, and then you have to go back over it. So I've mixed this top coat that I don't particularly love with the Mark glue, and then I'm just starting to apply the stones. I will be back in frame in about a minute. Okay, so here we are. I'm in frame. This is that ombre nail that I was talking about. And like I said, my hands are ashy because I am constantly washing them and constantly having alcohol on them. Now I know why the girls use the gloves, because, ooh, child, this is too up and close and personal, but it's all right. Don't laugh at me, child. We are not here to discuss my ashiness. We are here to discuss these nails. So there's no rhyme or reason to anything that I'm doing here with the nail. Like I said, I just want to fill up the nail tip, and if there's any gaps that I can't quite get to, I have that base of that silver to kind of hide any imperfections or where you don't have any stones at. But I also use the caviar beads to fill in the spaces, as well as to put on top of the flower, just to, you know, give it a little razzle dazzle. And actually, that's how you're supposed to use the flowers. You're supposed to use them and put the little stones on. I have no clue why the nail companies didn't just do that. I guess they want to frustrate us. But anyway, so this is just me grabbing stones, different sizes, kind of making a junk nail. I love when you have a bling nail and there's no particular pattern. So I'm mixing the flowers, I'm mixing the different stones, different shapes, and just, you know, kind of putting them where they fit in. And that's, like I said, the beauty of a freestyle nail. I love nails that are kind of junky and not too put together. So here I'm just kind of moving them around, seeing where they fit. And like I said, if there's like a gap that is a little too big to leave alone, I will put those caviar beads just to kind of fill it in a little bit. And this tool right here, I can't remember the name of it, but it typically comes with the rhinestone kits. And I just like to do a quick 10-second cure just to make sure that there's no slippage going on before I do try to dip the nail. Before I put it under the UV lamp in order to dry. And this is just me putting top coat over the whole entire design. And I do clean up the free edge just to make sure there's no excess. So this is me looking at the nail again to figure out what are we doing. So I'm showing you this green because I thought that it just was too much silver and I needed to add some more green to complement the green flowers. So I have my liner brush and I'm going to go over to that nail. I believe it was my ring finger. I'm going to go over to that ring finger. I'm going to add some green onto that nail just to kind of, bring that green more, to be more cohesive basically, to, bring that green more out and to, keep it going throughout the nail designs. So here I am just lining the nail. I know it is off frame, but I promise you, it's better than it was the last video. And like I said, the next video will be even better. I'm just trying to figure out my setup situation. So you'll see me line the nail and just kind of look at the nail and figure out what it needs. There's no rhyme or reason to designs. It's always a good idea to practice on yourself, family members, or anyone that will allow you to. You can have nail models that you charge a specific price to let them kind of let you practice on them. So here I'm just going around my cuticles, and when I tell you my cuticles stay raggedy, so maybe I shouldn't have did this design with the green around the cuticles, but that's all right because we're gonna make it work, right? So yeah, I like to go back to my brush cleaner to just clean up any lines or any issues. And I actually really did like this green, but I found the first coat, especially because it's going over the silver, was kind of darker than neon. So I had to go back over it a couple times. But I believe if I would have just put it on the regular nail, I would not have had that issue. So you'll see me keep going over it a little bit because I want it to match the flowers. So off camera, I also did add a line underneath the silver just to kind of encase that silver. And also to give myself a guide on where I thought I wanted the stones to go. I include a lot of clips that I could have cut out. But I wanted people to know, especially new up and coming nail techs, that, this is a lot of trial and error. You'll see Instagram posts where it looks like all they did was just one line, one swoop, and everything came out perfect. It's a lot of trial and error, a lot of cleaning up. You will have polish on the nails, but thank God for cuticle oil. So yeah, once that nail was done, I cured that really quickly, and then I come over to the nail that I started to do the French on. And like I said, I lined up the French with my brush earlier on. So now I'm just adding stones. This is going to be a true bling nail. And I actually love these because these are all rhinestones, no chaser. And all you're going to do is just put on all the stones. Just gather them all together, pick them up randomly. There's no rhyme or reason. See where stones fit. You're going to be moving things around. And with this nail, because it is done in the shape of a French, and the reason why I lined it was so that I could put the small rhinestones to line the nail to show a clear definition of where the nail bling starts and where the natural area ends. So you'll just see me adding more and more stones here. I don't actually add any flowers onto this particular nail. I love these bling nails. That is one of my faves. And you will notice that I put top coat on top of the stones. Like I said, I'm old school from back in the day, honey. We didn't do all this dabbing and stuff. We actually just used to use nail polish to apply the rhinestones. There was no nail glue, and crazy glue would have looked crazy. So we used nail polish. So even to seal the nails, I use nail polish to seal the top of the nails because I do not want anybody's nails to get snagged in their hair. We have clients that have natural hairs, wigs, whatever. You don't want their nails to snag in their hair, so I like to top coat on top of these bling nails. So yes, I'm just picking up stones and placing them where they need to go. I'll pick stones up and I'll drop stones off, and as a matter of fact, you'll see me sometimes push stones off to the side, and I know it can be aggravating because I also get aggravated. I'm always like, oh my god, there's a stone hanging off the side of the nail, but whatever. It'll be all right. I know the stone is hanging off the side of the nail, so grant me grace. That's how I operate. I move them over because I may need them again, and they still have the glue underneath them. So instead of me dropping them into the rest of the stones, I like to just move them to the sides of the nail. So you'll see them hang and you'll see me push them off, and I'll push them off somewhere where I will not reuse them. But yeah, so I'm just tapping the sides of the nail, and I also want to make sure that there's enough of the top coat and the glue. So you'll see me keep going back and looking at it and moving things around. I use both sides of this tool because the other side of the tool, I also have a little bit of the glue and the polish combination. It stays tacky the whole time because it hasn't been cured. So I can also pick up like those tiny caviar beads with that portion, and I can move things over a little bit. So that's a little trick as well. You can put a little bit of the glue on that area and it will help you to pick up the stones or whatever it is you're picking up. And like I said, here I'm encasing everything in that glue slash top coat mixture, and then you'll see that things will start to slide, and I'll put them back in place, and I'll do a quick 10-second cure, and that'll allow for everything to stay in place. And if something has shifted, I will go ahead and move it. And when I do the 10-second, I think I tried to move something and I noticed that it would not move. So I'm telling you, that little 10 seconds makes a huge difference. It's not going to be completely dry, but at least the stones will stay in place. And that'll allow for you to go ahead and put the hand underneath the UV light, because you know some of our clients like to touch things. You do not want a chance that those stones have moved. You don't want them to slip and slide when they're underneath the UV light. This 10-second cure will do all you need it to do when it comes to keeping your stone and the work that you've worked so hard to keep that stuff in place. So you'll see me add some little caviar beads in the little spots that I felt were a little sparse. And I'm just doing the little 10-second cure here. Now we're gonna work on this nail that, this is actually not my favorite nail. And if I had to do it all over again, I don't think I would have had that green around the cuticle. And I think it's simply because of how my cuticles are. If I had like the clean, beautiful cuticles, it probably would have looked all right, but it kept driving me crazy. But you know, in the pictures it looked good, okay? And I'm sure if your client has better cuticles than mine, this is an amazing design. Actually, I just didn't like it on myself. So I went ahead and focused all the stones into the silver area. I just kept them encased in that area. I thought this would have been cute too as a half French, like a slanted French with the rhinestones as the accent. But as much as I did not love this nail, this is actually the nail that I got the most compliments on. I don't know if it's because of the green, and the green was more pronounced than the other nails, but you know, sometimes you personally don't like something that a client may like. You give them what they want, and you know, it is what it is. So I'm just adjusting the stones with the tool. I try not to use my nail a lot, but you will see me use my nail to push stones in place and to move stones out the way. But yeah, so here I'm just, you know, moving things around. So let me know, you know, what are y'all doing for summer nails? What kind of designs are you guys doing? Do you actually like blinged out nails? Have you been doing them? What kind of rhinestones do you use? So here we are moving over to the thumbnail. Like I said, you know, I had no rhyme or reason. I didn't know what I was going to do with this nail, but I know I needed to throw some green within the nail. So I went ahead and did that, and I stuck that nail under to cure. And that kind of gave me an idea for the pinky. And I was like, you know, let me do a full bling nail using the flowers on this particular nail. So the pinky nail is going to be all bling, including the flowers. So basically your typical junk nail, so all sizes that can fit will go on this nail. Now what I will tell you about having a silver background, you do not actually have to use a lot of stones if you do not want to. I just like the fullness of all the stones, you know, be a little extra. In my everyday life, I typically do not wear stones on my nails, but if I'm going to wear some stones, I'm going to wear some stones, honey. So yes, I'm going to put all the stones on this nail and kind of move them around. And I'm using a mixture of, like I said, those iridescent pearls, the different shapes of rhinestones, the flowers, the caviar beads, all the things. But yeah. So what kind of nail art, back to what I was saying, what kind of nail art are you guys doing? Do you guys do a lot of nail art? What is your favorite shape? My favorite shape for nail art is actually a coffin or a square nail. My least favorite is the duck nails. I can't get into them duck nails. I mean, we used to call them mistake nails back in the day. If somebody had duck nails, it's because you went to the wrong person to get your nails done. That was not the style. that I knew of. But then again, I'm in South Florida, so I don't recall that. Maybe I missed that era, but I don't know nothing about that. But yeah, I prefer like a square or a coffin nail to put designs on, and it doesn't matter what the designs are. But here I have stilettos. I actually do like the stilettos as long as they're clean and they're not lumpy, bumpy, or anything. So yes, I'm over here looking at this nail to see whatever else it needs, and all I did was put a little bit of that mixture of the, you know, the top coat and the glue into the little flowers to make sure that the little caviar beads stick. Like I said, I have no clue what I'm going to do with this nail, so you'll see me struggle on this nail because the thumbnails, they don't really get too much love. You know, they be off to the side. You can't really take no good picture of them. So this is typically the nail that gets the least amount of love and takes the most amount of effort for some reason. But yeah, I'm just kind of moving things around. I'm trying out different sizes. I knew I wanted to use the bigger stones on the thumbnail because that is the nail that, you know, has the most real estate. So I did want to make sure that I put something on there, but not too much. I didn't want to go too far on the thumbnail because, like I said, you know, that's the nail that is seen the least. I really don't concentrate too much effort on the thumbnail unless that is the focus for some reason. So I'm just moving the stones around, and I apologize about some of the nail being off frame, but you still get the gist of what's happening here. I move some flowers in, I move some flowers, I move some stones in, I move some stones off. When I tell you this thumb brought me through it, I almost said, you know what, let me just put some lines on this thumb and call it a day. But the point of today's video was to do rhinestone placement. And I know some people like to do the rhinestone placement on mats beforehand and take pictures of them. I don't do that, and that's because, you know, when you're placing and dropping stones, the nail may not be the size you thought it was going to be, so you'll see me move things, or maybe the design just does not come out. It doesn't resonate once you put the stones on. So we move them around. Like I said, this clip I could have easily omitted and just showed you the perfect nail or the last step, but I wanted you to see that yes, we go through what's that for writer's block, but I guess this is nail art block, where it's like, oh my gosh, where does this go, where should this go, how should I do this? So like I said, you'll see me move the stones and the flowers off the side of the nail, and then once I decide I'm not going to use them, I'll take them completely off, but I'll go back and grab whatever it is that I need from what I took off. But I actually like this thumbnail. It came out all right. You know, it was a little different for me, only because, like I said, the flowers, I wanted to have the flowers on there. I don't know what else I would have done. I mean, I want you guys to leave in the comments some other ideas, or, you know, even put down your Instagram page if you're a nail tech. What would you have done with these nails? Are you loving the flower designs? Are you loving the neon colors? Do you love bling? Do you love plain nail art with no rhinestones? Me personally, in my everyday life, I really don't wear a lot of nail art, but I do love the bling, and I love to put them on, and I love to play with them. Yeah, and I'm just, you know, really enjoying the challenge of making these videos. I love doing nails. I've been doing them for quite a while, but, you know, there's new trends out that I want to try, and you know, sometimes our clients get a little monotonous. They want to get Frenches all the time. They're not really interested in like the 3D gel flowers. I love doing that. Swirl, just different things. So I'm excited to try out new things with you guys. So be sure to leave down below anything you want me to try, anything that you know you want to see. But yeah, so this is just me still trying to place these stones just ever so perfectly, and then, you know, I'll put the little 3 seconds, and then I'm going to pull out my UV light, and I'm going to cure the whole hand just to make sure that everything's still good to go. And then, yeah, that's it, y'all. That's it. Look at that. Yeah, that's so cute, honey. Yeah, you know, I went out with one hand done and one hand not to Trader Joe's and looked a mess, but girl, it caught all the attention. So yeah, guys, as always, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I hope you enjoyed the video, and till the next video, bye.